Good morning. So today I'm going to talk about how it is that I do a live show streamed every single day and then published to YouTube with no video editing at all, with a lot of cool transitions and effects, and all completely audio mastered without any audio editing at all, and uploaded to a number of different platforms without any uploading at all with the descriptions and the keywords completely embedded automatically for me without paying for an assistant. And with a very, very small amount of work. So just for context, my name is Weldon Green, and I'm an esports psychology trainer. So my normal videos on YouTube are typically about esport performance, sports psychology, mental training, and I coach a number of professional athletes and professional teams in the esports sphere. But I run a daily talk show that I do every single day from at 6:30 p.m. Los Angeles time, and I live stream it, and I have a number of call-ins, which are pre-recorded audios that people send me through the phone, so I can show you how I do that automatically too. And then I essentially answer those on the show, and then I end the show, and within about 30 minutes, I have the show completely published, both as a podcast and a YouTube video and a Facebook video, and then a full live streamed VOD on Twitch as well that is then rebroadcast for the European region and time zone, all without any of the normal effort that people put into editing up YouTube videos and talk shows. And I wanted to show you how I do that, because this is a very popular thing now. Audio podcasts are moving into YouTube videos plus audio podcasts, and then people are live streaming those. And I've managed to essentially streamline my process as an individual person without an assistant, and I wanted to share that kind of setup with you. And it revolves a lot around this program right there, Auphonic and OBS. So I'm going to show you how I set mine up so that you can pay attention to exactly and figure out a system for your own that actually works. Okay, so let's start off. First of all, I prepare the show in advance, which means that here is an example of a spreadsheet. So I have episode 203 here, and I have 3 questions kind of estimated, and I create a title, and I get everything ready. And the audio that I have, I use Anchor. So I have this Anchor app, and when I go in and I click new episode, I have a number of audio questions from my users that call in, and I can simply play these right on my desktop. I don't actually download them or anything, and I tell people who call into the show to label it somehow so that I know, and I essentially just go through chronologically. I just finished these questions today, and now this will be the question for tomorrow's audio.
Hey Weldon,
show.
This is Bojan from the Netherlands.
So you can see that essentially it's a 1-minute audio, and I have this website open when I'm broadcasting my show live, and I just play the audio right from here and then answer it. And I will show you how I do that in a second. So I prepare a little brief summary of the question and a little title for the show, and I go into Twitch and I set up my broadcast. So for those of you who aren't aware of how to do this, you go to your dashboard in Twitch, and you can simply enter the title for the show right here, enter the category, which is talk shows, add some communities, update the information, and then you can go live. And that's what I do. So I have everything kind of ready, and the show is prepared. And then as far as the open broadcasting system, which is the program over here that I use to run the show, I have a number of little text-based cards that I put the questions in. So here you can see how to calm down fast. This is episode 201, how to calm down fast, question 1. Here's another text file, question 2, emotional regulation. Question 3, how to temper addictive personality. Oh, wait, no. Is there a scientific way to become an expert? Okay, so developing expertise. I write little summaries of the questions, and I save them as text files in a little folder, and I load them into OBS, and I'll show you how to do that in 1 sec. So once that is all prepped, I go live. And I have a scene here in OBS. You can see that I'm going to basically go start streaming. And I'm streaming now, and I am talking only to the Twitch audience. I'm not doing the YouTube show. So this is where I warm up the audience, and it's kind of like a talk show such as you would see on TV, where the talk show host comes out, talks to the live audience for a while, maybe does a routine for them, etc. I answer their questions, and when I'm all ready, I say, okay, I'm going to go live, and I turn off the Twitch chat, and I turn off my live chat, and I focus on this camera, and I hit start recording. So with OBS, you can both stream to the live stream, and you can record to your desktop at the same time. So I hit start recording, and I have hotkeys, basically F1 through F4, and I have 4 scenes here that I'm going to show you how they operate together to create the show. So first, I have the title scene where I click start recording, and then F1. And up pops the scene with a little overlay, and it says, The Ask Weldon Show. And I say, hello, welcome to The Ask Weldon Show, episode 201. Today we're going to talk about calming down fast, tilting, and becoming an expert. And then I introduce the show, I do announcements, whatever. And when everything's ready, with the introduction and the takeover, then I launch into the intro sequence. So here's where I'm quiet, and a little overlay plays, and my little logo plays, and I'll show you what that looks like right now. And a little sound plays, and then I'm back. And I'm like, okay, let's jump into the show. Today we're going to have 3 questions, and the 3 questions are this and this and this. And I explain it, and then when I'm ready to get into the first question, I have the question scene, which I built. And this is essentially 2 graphics. One graphic that is only a couple seconds long and is the intro transition, and then the second graphic running behind it, which shows up when everything disappears, which has the question on it. So I click question graphic, and then I activate question 1 here, secretly behind. And poof, this is what the user is going to see above here. So they're not seeing any of these controls at the bottom, they're just seeing the broadcast there. They saw the little intro thing, they see my head, and it says how to calm down fast. And then while that's loading, I go over here and I click the little anchor button. I click play over here. Maybe, I don't know where the calm down question is. It's from a couple days ago, but I'll just click this one.
Hey, Weldon. So I know that when looking at professional...
There we go. And I listen to the whole question. When I'm done, I go to my answer page, which is this one. And now I'm answering the question, blah, 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 blah. And then I go to the question number 2. So I'm going to click on the scene, and while the intro animation is playing, I'm going to swap from question 1 to question 2. Poof. Question 2, emotional regulation, right there. And if I have a Twitter question, what I do is I cut out the tweet, and I save it as a little graphic, and I load that. And you can see I have these little questions here, question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, in my OBS. And I just loaded these from a text file. So I just add a text file. They're locked, so I have to unlock this one if I want to move it. But I load this little text file, and it pulls, if I double click it, you'll see, it pulls the text from this text file that I have on my desktop. And I can set the font, I can set the color, I can set the size, I can match it with my brand, and I can center it, then I can lock it in place, and I can make it disappear or reappear. And I have one for each question here. And actually, if I was smart, I would make these have a white background. So background color, opacity, and I would select like white here. FFFF. Oh wait, I want full white. Oh, that is full white. Okay. And then it would overwrite the previous question. So let's say I had question 1 up here and I put question 2 up. It would cover it up with a little white thing. Oh, my animation stopped because it's only a minute long. Let me go back in. So yeah, you can set the the background of this card to white, and then it won't do this text overlay thing if you accidentally have 2 questions loaded at once. Okay, so I just fixed one of my own problems there. Cool. All right, so then I talk through the show, and then when the show is over, I have a little advertisement scene here, so I can advertise my product, which is a meditation and teaching app or course where people can learn how to focus on their performance, and then do a meditation practice every single mindfulness training every single day that kind of sequentially goes up. So I have a little ad here, and then I'll end the show, or I'll go to the last question, and then I'm done. And I hit stop recording. The file saves on my desktop. I go back to the stream here, and I answer chat and audio questions live for my audience for another 45 minutes, and then I hit stop streaming. So I'm done streaming. Now I want to publish. I have 2 things. I have the full 1.5 hour, 2 hour stream saved on Twitch. That's still there as a file. And then I have my little 15-minute, 20-minute show with those 3 questions and all the cool animations and all the YouTube edits that you normally would put in afterwards, produced live through this OBS software. And that's saved as a file on my desktop. So now comes the fun part. There's this website called Auphonic that does audio mastering. It's an intelligent leveler. It runs everything through like a little algorithm, and you can set it all up to level audio. So if you have a guest and they're different audio, or if one of my questions is really loud and one of my other questions is soft, or my mic, if I'm like, gesturing frantically and I move farther away from my mic or closer to my mic and farther away throughout the show, you can get lots of different things. And also if you have YouTube videos that, like mine, where people watch sequentially a whole bunch in a playlist, it's really annoying if you're listening to one YouTube video and it's high audio, and then the next video, you mess with your audio settings and it's low, and then 6 months later you're listening to another one. And also these are podcasts too, so you don't want the podcast to vary. So I want everything to be the same length or the same exact kind of decibel level for everybody, and that's where this comes in. So I have a Auphonic account. It's free for 2 hours, and you can buy more hour credits. You can see here these are all my past productions. So what I do is I click a new production, okay, and I have a preset here for my show. I just have one preset called the Ask Weldon Show. Boom, populates a whole bunch of stuff within these settings, which I'll show you here. And then I choose a file. So today I'm going to upload episode 202, which is right here. Oops, nope. I'm not going to do 203. I'm going to do 203, which is the one I did today. Okay. So I click the file and I click upload. Now I want to add a title. So I go to my spreadsheet and I have the title right here. I paste it in. And now here is the YouTube description, the podcast description, the everything description. And I kind of write it for this, like a general one, right, for my show. But I want to put in the questions for the day. So copy paste. Today's questions. 1 and 2 and 3. Then I have my general tags for all of my shows, and then I also want to add tags for the show in particular. So golf, training, schedule. Maybe I'll just do golf training, training schedule, sleep, and peak performance. Okay, and I accidentally put a space after all these commas, which I don't think you need to do, so let me delete that really quick. Okay, so I added a bunch of unique tags specifically for the show, as well as the other ones that I have just in general for my whole show. And now if I go down, you'll see that you can choose output files. So I'm outputting an MP3, obviously, because I want an audio format for my podcast to upload. I'm outputting a video. So it's going to take the sound off the video, level it completely, put it back on the video, and output it as an audio mastered video file. It's not going to change the video at all. It's not going to change the timings at all. It's just going to fix the audio and put it back out and output it. It's going to give me a full subtitle. This is using the Facebook subtitling AI software, and you can register for a Google account and use Google's as well, and it will just simply listen to the audio and output a VTT file with that. I'm also outputting the same thing as an HTML file and as a JSON file. I'm not using the JSON file right now, but I might in the future. And it's pulling an audio transcription using Facebook's audio algorithm, which I said you can use Google's too. You just have to register through Auphonic, and you can get these 3 files. I could get an SRT instead of a VTT, which actually I'm going to switch over and do that now. I want SRT files, and so you can set all the output files here. And these are all saved in my preset. And then you can set all the publishing services. So there's a whole bunch of them. I think, let me see, services. Right here we have YouTube, Libsyn, Facebook, SoundCloud, Blueberry, Speaker. You can read them here, Zencaster. You can FTP it out, SFTP it out. You can send it to an Amazon storage box. You can send it to Google Cloud. You can send it to your Google Drive. And here's the speech recognition software you can use. So I set up all of these services here. YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud. I'm saving stuff in an Amazon file. I'm saving up stuff in my Google Drive, and what I'm doing is I'm saving the audio file and all of the text files to my Google Drive. I'm not saving the video file there because I don't want to use up all my storage, right? And I'm publishing it to SoundCloud. I can't publish it to Anchor, which is why I'm going to upload that soon. Hopefully they add Anchor to the list, and that'll be cool. But I'm publishing it to my YouTube, and I'm publishing it to my Facebook page, and as a secret, by the way, because I want to edit the post before I post it. So I can only with this one upload, I can only do a single summary, and I don't want my YouTube summary and my Facebook summary to be the same. So I mic the YouTube summary here, and then I'm going to change it and publish the Facebook one. And here you can choose the audio algorithms you pass. You do a pass through. So I'm leveling it. I'm doing a normalization for loudness. I'm leveling all of my audio to the same exact, file, LUFS value, so -16, which is for podcast and mobile, and it's going to make sure that every single YouTube video and every single podcast and every single Twitch, whatever that I upload on SoundCloud is all the same loudness. And if you have a problem with noise and hum in that particular episode, you can also do noise hum reduction. I usually don't enable that because I don't want it to pick up any false positives, and I don't have any hum thanks to my awesome mic and my awesome audio interface and my USB shield and all that stuff. So I'm pretty good there. And then I click Start Production. Okay, it asks me to confirm everything, output files, I have credits for 14 hours of audio, blah, 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 start. And it's going to upload it. By the way, I save all of my Twitch or my OBS files, video files, as a .flv file. This is a Flash video file. The reason I do that is because it's crash proof. So in the middle of writing an FLV file, if OBS crashes and all you're left with is like the half-written video file, it will play up to that point. If you try to do it in another container format, usually, depending on the format, of course, it won't have finalized or it won't have finished writing, and so it won't actually save. It'll just be like a corrupted video file, and you'll lose everything. And I can't trust that my broadcasting software won't crash in the middle of my recording, and I hate redoing stuff, so I want redundancy. And so I would like the file up to the point where the software crashes, and so I use FLV. Now that I'm uploading it, it's going to change it into an MP4 file, and when it puts it on YouTube, or YouTube is going to change it itself, actually. It's going to go up as an FLV file to YouTube with the audio remastered, and then YouTube is going to do its thing, and it's going to be a video file. So while that's uploading, which as you can see takes really quickly, and the audio leveling is almost instant, I go to Spark. Okay, this is the other secret, super secret software. I use Spark.adobe.com. It's an iPhone app that I use to make thumbnails. It's so easy to make thumbnails on this app. You have like the easiest settings in editing of all time. You can load stuff from your camera. It has a ton of automatic files that you can use as far as images and pictures from picture setups. So a lot of these are from like a picture service, which is free to use. And then I do a bunch of like selfies and face pictures in different settings, and I use pictures from my phone album, from the past, from a long time ago. And you can do all sorts of layouts and stuff. And I make a thumbnail in about 5 to 10 minutes while I'm in the gym, between sets on my phone. And then when I go home, and then I can save it actually to YouTube and stuff like that, actually while I'm in the gym. But nowadays I've taken to coming home and publishing it here as part of my streamlined process. So here you can see I've created a thumbnail for Ask Weldon 201. And what I did was, I took a selfie with an interesting face, and then I just use the software. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out in no time. I'm not going to teach you how to use Spark, but you can change the font and the coloring and stuff like that. So it says calm down fast and perform. It's got a little face of me breathing. And I create a YouTube thumbnail size picture, and I want one for my podcast and for my Instagram story as well. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to call it podcast. Now, Spark doesn't want you to make all these duplicates. They want you to export it, and then they want you to just quickly edit it and change it, and it will automatically adapt to podcast. But I find that I have to change sometimes a little bit of the layout to make it square versus horizontal. And so I just like to have my own resized version. And I go here and I click square, bam, okay. And I want to maybe take over the left side of the screen with this. So there we go. Okay, I don't like it that big. I'm going to make it a little smaller. Bam. Okay, so here's my podcast thumbnail, calm down fast and perform. So I'm going to go back to my page, and then I want one for my phone for my Instagram story to promote my new video. So I'm going to go 201 story, click edit. Sorry about the slight delay here. Resize, go up to Instagram story right here. Bam. And I want to do this one vertical, so I'm going to bring this up here, center my picture, zoom out. Oh, I guess I can't zoom out. I'll just put it centered, take over my ugly hair so I don't have to look at it. This close, come down fast and perform. And then I want, of course, to add a little like new video call to action. You can, of course, say something like swipe up or whatever. And I always like to do black and yellow, or some sort of action color, red, etc. I always like to do the same kind of font, which is one of these screaming, hash, like ninja-looking fonts. I always like to do a button-looking thing with a little bit more padding. Put it down here where the person's going to see the swipe up thing. There you go. New video, done. Go back to posts. And I have my little file. Now that Spark is on my phone, of course, I can go here, I can download it to my photo album, and I can just put it on my Instagram story right from my phone when I'm at the gym later. And I'm going to go ahead and download this podcast one and the YouTube file to my desktop so I can show you how this all works. Download. All right, so by now your audio should be processed and published. So here's the audio is processing, it's uploaded, it's going to publish. I'm going to go ahead and do episode 201 because I don't want to wait and delay the video. So, whoa, hello. So here I am on Facebook. I'm on my page. I go to Publishing Tools and I go to Video Library. You can see I have all of these videos waiting to publish, and then I have a bunch of videos that I published here. My Facebook is very, what I want to say, like virally. You know, some videos don't get any viewership, some get 10,000. Who knows? And here I'm going to publish episode 194. So I click on the video and I want to create a post with this video, and it's going to give me the option to essentially. Okay, it's not going to give me the option. It's going to bug out completely. Let me refresh this page. Sorry. Publishing Tools. Video Library. Oh, I'm already there. Great. I don't want to edit the... Oops, wrong video. Sorry, guys. 195. Okay, create post. There we go. Please don't autoplay. All right, so when I'm doing the Facebook post, I usually do like the questions at the top. I want people to know what's in the video, and then I just want a little bit about my training in my Discord, like a couple call to actions, ask a question, whatever, and then you have to add your own post. So this is the one service. Facebook doesn't really like these external publishing things. They don't give you a lot of APIs, and so you can't put tags on the videos and on the posts and stuff like that from external services. So I add a couple tags in here. Esports. Usually have to do new stuff. Esports, Overwatch, whatever applies, and then hit publish now, and it's live. I don't really do thumbnails on Facebook. I think it's pretty relevant. Nobody ever sees a thumbnail because everything is autoplay. Bam, done with Facebook. Close that. All right, now I want to do the podcast. So here I am on Anchor. I go to Anchor, and this is a podcast app where you can essentially host your podcast for free. It has all these tools. You can listen to podcasts, has stats, you can add draft, make new episodes, whatever. You can call into shows. So here are my call-ins, and when I'm making a new podcast, I record an intro and an outro. So here's a little 1-minute intro, little 1-minute outro. I load in the intro, as you can see here. There's the intro, and then I upload my audio. So you can see I just go to downloads. I've downloaded the audio from the file. From the Auphonic downloads. So you can see here, this one is already mastered and ready as the MP3. I can download it to my downloads file, and I can upload it here to Anchor. And then I put in the outro, and I save the episode. Now I need the episode title, 201. Go to my spreadsheet, copy, paste. And then I need to have, you have a 1,000 character limit that handles Markdown. So usually, it's good to write your own kind of set of descriptions. But what I do is I just use the same one as my YouTube description for this particular episode. And I have a certain cutoff where it doesn't, the 1,000th character, it's kind of a nice transition. So I'm in season 2, episode 201, and it's clean. There's no swearing. I'm doing a full episode, and I'm publishing it everywhere, and boom, publish. Whoops. Now I want to upload the image. Let me go to downloads. Episode 201 podcast file. Save. There's my thumbnail. Save changes. And I'm published with the new thumbnail, which works in iTunes and on Anchor. And I'm not so sure about the Android apps right now, but at least it works on iTunes, which is kind of cool. Okay, so the podcast is published. You can view the episode. And hopefully it doesn't autoplay. Great, thank you. Now I publish it to SoundCloud. So I'm going to go to SoundCloud, and here's episode 201. You can edit the track, update the image with my nice new podcast thumbnail art, save, and then add to my podcast playlist. And this is just because SoundCloud is a good discovery platform, and I also like to have a backup just in case Anchor, which is this free service, decides they want to limit access to my thing or they want to upload to iTunes. I like to have it all ready to go somewhere else on a different podcast host. And SoundCloud is free for hosting, and then if I want to go podcast, I can just pay a certain amount every month, and bam, it's live. So This is kind of a holdover from a previous thing, but it's also automatically uploaded through Auphonic, so I don't mind it so much. Really easy to do, and I have a number of listens and follows here, so that works. YouTube. Now, if I go to my videos on YouTube, you can see that essentially I have a video sitting there waiting, and it's this whole video, and it's uploaded with the title and the description. It's unlisted. It's not on anything, and let's see. Let me go to Studio and show you all these videos. Here's my video manager, and you can see that I have 203 is uploading. It's 95% processed. It's already kind of up here. Here's all my previous videos. Here's the ones that have yet to be published. So today I'm going to publish 201 for you. And you can see that it's just a generic thumbnail pulled from the thing, and it has all of the settings from Auphonic already in here. So the whole description is in here with the little questions that we wrote today's questions, the title. And I turn on monetization immediately for these, even when it's unlisted, because then YouTube scans it and looks for the problems that might crop up, and usually they demonetize it, and then you have to click OK, check to make sure that it's fine, and then usually it goes through. At least for me, it does. They demonetize almost every video, and then I say, please double check, and then it monetizes them all. So I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, I can do custom thumbnail. Go to downloads. Here's my YouTube thumbnail that I just made in Spark. It's going to upload, save it. If you want, you can do the end screens and annotations and stuff. And for me, I'm going to just go public, publish, add to the playlist. Bam. Done. Published with the YouTube thumbnail and everything. Alrighty. Now we go to Twitch. So Twitch, here's all my past broadcasts. As you can see, it's like episode 192, 93, 94, 95. And I download these to my hard drive to save them. But today I'm going to publish 201. So I click on the episode, I upload the thumbnail. Now this is the full broadcast from start to finish, not just the center YouTube video, but the full thing for the whole stream. All the questions I answered with the audience, the center, edited, produced, fancy graphic YouTube section, and then the end of the show. And I copy paste the description from YouTube into the description for the video here. So I've already got the description from YouTube. Bam, and then I can copy paste all the tags too, because they're all the same tags for all the same video. It's in talk shows, language English, thumbnail updated, title correct, save. This also supports Markdown, by the way, so if you want to use your podcast description for Twitch, you can. And then I add it to my collection of Ask Weldon shows, so that people can have a full collection that they can watch kind of as a playlist for discovery. Okay, that's done with Twitch. And then I go to Twitter, and I have here the promotion tweet. That I'm going to do. Let me get my link for the podcast. I have I'm experimenting with putting all of the things in the same post for fun. I also do a buffer where I have a single link to just the audio with a question on the show that I'm maybe answering, and maybe a little audio clip of the show with thumbnails, not thumbnails, with subtitles on it. That kind of promotion. But for right now, I'm just announcing when it's published. I grab my thumbnail again. So I'm loading in the graphic here. I use the horizontal one from YouTube. I have the link for the full show, the YouTube show, the audio, tweet, done. It's published. And this whole process takes me about 30 minutes from the end of my stream to publishing the episode with all of the edits. So I don't need to edit anything because I produce it all live. I did all the work beforehand to create this amazing graphical experience on YouTube. I don't need to upload it. I don't need to write the descriptions and copy paste them everywhere. Well, that's not true, right? I have to finesse the Facebook one. I have to copy paste to the Twitch right now, but these are very minimal kind of steps compared to setting up the whole YouTube description and the podcast description and matching it all. It's just a lot of really efficient copy pasting here. And I have the podcast with the wonderfully recorded intro and outro that is all leveled, and I record those intros and outros right here in the podcasting URL website. It's super easy. Click new recording, bam, bring my mic over. Select my mic. Whoops, that's not the mic. And here you can see I'm talking into the mic, and it's going to record it here. And then you can just literally build your episode right in the web browser. So there's a whole bunch of technologies in this show for you, from Auphonic to Anchor to OBS, and this is the workflow that I have. And I found it to be incredibly wonderful for doing a high volume of publishing and content production with the smallest amount of effort for a one-man team with no what do I want to say? Assistant to speak of. Now, if I want to upgrade this with clips out of the show and stuff, then it might behoove you to get an assistant to help you with the clipping and stuff like that. But for me, since I'm simply just using Buffer and I'm pulling questions from my spreadsheet to kind of promote with textual cues, and I'm not really clipping stuff from the show and subtitling it, I'm spending the rest of my day, on other projects. And you could spend the rest of your day on clipping stuff out of your show now and working on the promotion. And you would have everything all published and ready to go. Let me know what you think. Is there anything that you would refine out of my process? Is there anything here that was helpful to you? Comment down below with questions if anything was unclear, and I hope that this was useful for you. If you're interested in OBS stuff, there's a wonderful section on Reddit called subcommunity called OBS, where you can ask questions there and also kind of learn stuff. But the number one way to figure out how to use your open broadcasting software here is to experiment with it and problem solve and create your own graphics and toss stuff around and figure it all out, setting it up for yourself. Best of luck. Ciao.